Alright, welcome back to another video by Grease Monkey Bass Fishing. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at Bass King's XXL Plus Shuttle. So they have two different shuttles for the XXL series. So this is the Plus. So basically you have the main switch, and then you have like a USB, or this is like a USB-C to a USB-C device that you may have, kind of like a phone charger, you would say. Their other option that they have is called the XXL Shuttle, but it's the power pack. You have more electrical accessories in the front panel itself. But the reason why I went with this one here is because I run a 30 amp tall redline lithium battery. So this is the only shuttle that I was able to find on the market to fit the 30 amp tall battery. So basically it fits anything from the 30 wide, could be a 32, could be the 48 for amped outdoors. But like I said, this is the only one that's able to fit the 30 tall. So basically this video, we're just going to go through the shuttle, give you guys kind of a walk around on what to expect if you guys are going to buy a shuttle. So first off, what I'm going to do is we're just going to look at the side here. So one of the neat things from Bass King, right, is his gimbal brackets. As you guys all know, the manufactured gimbal brackets, depending on your size of your screen, weighs a lot. So the screen that I have here, this is the Garmin, this is the 126, this is the Ultra. So the gimbal itself weighed, when I weighed it, was like 3 pounds. So as soon as I installed Bass King's gimbal brackets, I lost about 2 to, basically almost the 3 pounds. So I went from like 30 pounds to like 27.2 pounds. So not a lot of weight loss, but some weight is better than, no weight. So, yep, so these are the gimbal brackets with the yellow color trim. Yellow was one of the color trims that he has, but I will reach out to him if I want to switch the color trim in the future. And these color trims here, as you guys can see on the gimbal brackets and on this here, those are 3D printed. Looks like it's some really nice 3D printed, matches perfectly to the shuttle, so no worries there. So on the back side here, this is where the GLS10 gets mounted to. So really easy, simple forward mounting. One of the things I loved about this is that all of the bolts that he uses is 1/4x20. As I know, maybe not all of you guys, but 1/4x20 is used a lot in the industry. Not just with like these shuttles and stuff, but like kayak, right? So I have a whole bunch of 1/4x20 accessories and things like that. Kind of like the ram ball mounts, things like that. I have this rod holder here sitting up here right now. This rod holder here is actually from my first Bass King shuttle, like way back. So I still had it in a box, so I put it on. So this past weekend when I went out, I just threw my extra rod on there while I used the other one to fish with. Really convenient and easy to use. So yeah, the GLS10 mounts on the back side here. One of the things that you want to do before mounting this is there is a Velcro strap that runs on the inside, right? So depending on the size of battery that you're running, if you guys are all strictly like 30 amps, like those wide batteries, then you can adjust it to that. But I put mine as like the longest because I have a 30 tall. Hopefully in the future, like a 30 wide or 32 wide, something like that. So that's why I left it like that. So the yellow color trim, really nice. Me, I love this. These are like the stuff that gets me, right? Honestly, I just don't like plain stuff. I like it to pop. I like it to catch other people's eyes. I love when people come and ask me about like the stuff that I use. So this will definitely pop out when I'm out on the ice. So next thing here is, this is my transducer pole. Still waiting on Bass King to get his stuff in stock, so I can go grab one of his transducer pole as well. But he makes his own transducer pole holders, like that gets attached to the top here. I will put a picture right here, show you guys how that looks like. But since I have, my accessories up here, I decided to get these cheap alternative clips. These are more for like your brooms, your household stuff, things like that. These were like $4. I picked it up from Ace Hardware when I was in Wisconsin. So it fits my pole perfectly. And I believe this pole here is just a little bit over an inch in diameter, outer diameter. So, you know, it fits perfectly, snaps right on. I do have Velcro where I'll run it through here if, you know, I just want some extra security, things like that, but nothing too much. But yeah, that's the pole setup that I have right there. So we're gonna give you guys a 360. And it looks like my son must have threw a AA battery in here at some point. Loves his AA batteries. So, as you guys can see here, the construction here, there's a whole bunch of holes on the sides, right? One of the things for these holes is that he makes for open water, right? There's like this bracket that he makes that can be attached to your boat. It's kind of like a quick release bracket, right? So there's a bracket that comes out and goes down, and then there's like the base. So the base will get attached to, I don't know, like your boat, you know, things like that. So you can just take this from when you're done ice fishing, throw it on the boat, lock it in, you're good to go. And when it's when open water is done, go back to ice fishing, you know, unlatch it, take it out, and you're good. So really can't wait to go pick that up for open water as well. So that's why we have the holes here. But like for me, a person who does like a whole bunch of like do-it-yourselves and things like that, a lot of these holes here are like options, right? For me to rig something up here. I do know that when I was at the St. Paul Ice Show, he had like an attachment here where you can put like a transducer, right? So I asked him about it. Hopefully they come out soon with the final product on that. So, you know, I can put like my transducer in there, detach it from the pole, put it in there, you know, for storage and things like that. So, waiting for that from Bass King. Let's see some of the other things that I've done. So as you guys can see here, I have my yak power. This is my wireless phone charger. So basically, let me grab my phone, show you guys how that works. Alright, so got my phone. So I'm just gonna put it in here. So the yak power, basically, you once you put your phone in there, you push back, it'll lock in place. And yes, it locks in place. This is the same wireless phone charger that I used on my kayak before I sold it, but I kept this, right? So right now, how I am getting power to it is, you know, this port right here. Really, really awesome port. This is the quick charging port. Basically, I just plug in my charger straight through here, charges the battery inside of there. As you guys know, you know, the charger inputs, charges the battery, and it also outputs. The port also works as a power source. So basically, I'm going to plug this in. Give you guys a glimpse. So now my yak power is lit up. So put this back in. This phone is actually dead right now. So you're going to give it a couple seconds, and then it should start charging. So yeah, this is the yak power wireless charger that I attached to one of the holes on the back side here. That's meant for like the pole holder. So, you know, like I said, I already have the pole holder. So I'm using my RAM mount with my wireless charger. And as you guys can see there, it starts to charge already at 1% right now. And that was how I was able to get my recordings this past weekend when I was in Wisconsin, was this setup right here, as you guys can see. So awesome RAM mount with the wireless phone charger. And one of the things about the shuttle is, so I'm going to go to the back side here, is so the foam handle. I know the other manufacturers, like it's just, you know, bare metal. And a lot of people, they wrap it up, right? You know, it's kind of like grip tape or, you know, things like that. But if you're like fishing in freezing temperatures, right, you know, a lot of times people still fish outside in those conditions. But I wouldn't want my hand to get cold just from holding that all day. Of course, I'm going to be wearing gloves, but, you know, having the foam handle here, and believe it or not, I did whole hop this past weekend with this whole setup. It wasn't ideal, but 27 pounds, it was doable, right? At the end of the day, you're just getting a good workout. So yeah, so this is the foam handle here. Gonna see if I can get a different kind of pattern for that foam handle there. Just want to see if I'm missing anything, but I will open up the front panel just so you guys can see. If you guys buy like any of these shuttles, I do recommend getting Garmin's shorter cable, especially if you're running the UHD or the Ultra series. So they make a shorter cable where it powers both the GLS-10 and the screen itself into one wire. So you don't have to mess with all of these long wires. And Garmin also has like a shorter network cable that comes with the Garmin Ice bundles. So look for those. I really highly recommend it. so it'll make your life a lot easier. And as you guys can see, I don't have a glow cup, I believe, with me, but so one of the things here is I have like this USB light. One of the things I bought for my kayak also. So if I stick it on there, so right now I turn on the power switch. If I turn on this button, then I have a light source, right? If I'm fishing at night or early mornings, and then I can turn it back off with the button on this USB panel right here. So power switch, as you guys noticed, my screen did not turn on, so I can turn that on. But one of the things about Garmin is that if you guys want to set it up where if you turn on the main switch, that your unit turns on. So there's a setting in the screen itself where it can have an auto power up. So I will show you guys that once this gets loaded up. Alright, so in the settings, go to System, Auto Power Up. So it looks like I have it on. So I'm going to turn it back on, Home. Alright, so if you don't do anything, you hit the main switch, turn it off, give it a little bit to cycle. Your GLS 10 may still be blinking. If you turn it back on, voila, it turns back on every time you hit the main switch. But if you don't want that option to work, you can either go to the settings, turn it off, or after you're done fishing, just hit the power button, and then next time you hit the main switch, it's not going to turn on automatically. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just show you guys the insides a little bit of the Bass King Shuttle. Take these out. So remove the panel here. So another thing I did is I put EVA foam on the bottom, right? A lot of times these shuttles are sitting, you know, making contact with the ice. So that's just to insulate it just a little bit. I put EVA foam on the bottom. So all of this stuff comes pre-wired already. So basically all you gotta do is just throw your screen, GLS 10 on, throw your battery in, hook it up, and go. So yeah, just a quick look at the inside of how everything is ran on the Bass King Shuttle. Really easy, simple setup. So I'm going to get these screws back on. Alright, so there's that. Alright, so one of the last things that I did on the shuttle today was, so if I'm going to flip this over, so on the bottom here, I put 4 little legs on the bottom. So the shuttle sits just a little bit higher on the ice. It's not making direct contact with the ice, right? And as you guys can see, like I have some scrapes on the bottom ready from this past weekend. So just to prolong the life of, you know, the powder coating, which is really nice powder coating. It's like a wrinkle powder coat. I threw these legs on. So really cheap alternative. I took this off of, you know, one of my older setups and I threw it down here. So it's just that much higher off the ice, which is nice. Just giving you guys another look. Transducer cables wraps around this part here. I know other manufacturers, they have like their own transducer wiring holder, but you know, wrapping around here makes sense, easy, and it's, you know, it's there already. Hopefully this video gave you guys a good look at what Bass King shuttles look like, especially for the XXL series. Like I said, I ran Bass King shuttles like way back when I had like my Vexlars, really awesome shuttles, lightweight setups, things like that. So I was really happy that they came out with the Livescope shuttles. Although I did mod one of their old shuttles back then from a Livescope, my first Livescope setup for my 7-inch screen, worked really well. But really happy to see them come out with their XXL series, and you know, really just can't wait to see what they develop in the future. But this shuttle is really thought out for a lot of the folks, kind of like me, who likes to mod out, you know, their things, especially for what we do. Like I'd like to do a lot of recordings and things like that. GoPros can be attached to like all these holes up here, or even the side if you want to add something on the side here. You know, just use your imagination and but it's in the test. But if you have any questions, just reach out to me, send me a message, or just put a comment down below on this video. Thanks for watching.